Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I'm coming at you with another one of my channel updates. This is an interim update. This is the late June update. There's going to be an update for July coming out in a week or two, but right now this is the end of June. I wanted to do an update because I have a lot of things to say about the Roman army and what I'm doing project-wise, because you haven't seen a lot of videos of new projects. You've just seen progress of my Roman project, and so I wanted to make sure you guys got a chance to hear about all the things that I'm doing and not just my Romans. But this is also partially my Roman army update as well. So if you guys are following along my production of the Roman army, this falls into that category as well. Okay, so let's start off by saying I'm working on the Romans. Okay, I did start a little bit of the German barbarians. You saw those already. I have not touched them since the last time you saw them. Those German barbarians are still headless, and a few of them still are missing weapons, but mostly, they're all assembled body and legs, and they're all put on popsicle sticks, and I haven't added shields or weapons or heads. So those are in that drawer up there. Okay, having said that, I did get the decals in for the Romans. I did put the decals on my Romans. The Romans are starting to look really good. Really, really good. I'm starting to really, this is starting to look really good. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cohorts and a half, because as you know. Okay, so there's 7.5, and then I've got 1.5 cohorts there. So that's going to be, what was I? Did I say 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to have 9 cohorts when I get these guys finished. You might not be able to see that. I'll pan the camera down here in just a second. So, well, here, let's do that now. All right, guys, so you can see my, this is the second half to this half, and then this is the other cohort that needs to be finished. But I wanted to talk about these figures as well. And then if you look over here, you see some brown trebuchets that I'm working on right here. That is actually not part of my Roman army. These trebuchets, I was commissioned by a gentleman to assemble these and paint them for him. And so I've assembled them. And this is actually, because I'm getting paid to do this, I've kind of slacked off a little bit on the Romans while I've worked on these. But as you know, when you're painting, you got to wait for certain things to dry, and you got to wait for colors to dry, you got to wait for glue to dry. And in between waiting for those things to happen on these, I have been working on my own projects. So it's not completely stagnated me, but it has taken a couple of minutes to do it, but that's okay, you know. Anybody else who wants me to paint or assemble anything for them, you're more than welcome to contact me, and I'll be glad to do that. But these guys, they're all paid for, and I just need to assemble these, paint them, and get these shipped to them. So yeah, so that's something I'm doing right away. I told them it would take me about 4 days, and I've worked on it for 2 days, so I still have 2 more days to get this out. I think I'll have these done probably tonight or possibly tomorrow. Okay, but back to my Romans. Okay, so here's some things I've been thinking about. First of all, these are all flocked and based. You might notice this, but yeah, you can see that they're flocked. You can see that you will get a proper close-up on these miniatures at the end of this video. So I will take some time to do a close-up on all these finished models. The decals are looking good. The tunics are looking good. The Basing is looking good. Everything's looking good. My Numidians are looking awesome. I've got a unit of Celt cavalry. They're doing awesome. Okay, but there is something about the Celt cavalry and probably my generals and my artillery piece. The ones that are on the extra large base and there's a little bit gap where you can see the majority of the base. I think what I want to do is I want to take some of this. I want to take a few of these tufts. Okay, you're going to see some grass tufts in there, and yes, they're all put on a piece of paper. The paper has flock, and the tufts are on there. You could, they say you could take this piece of paper and cut it to shape and actually put it on like a train set or something like a scenery piece. Or if you wanted to, you can go to the individual tufts, peel them off, and apply them to pieces of terrain. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to peel those off, and I'm going to apply them, maybe one or two per cavalry stand, maybe also the generals, maybe also the ballista. So that's a project that I will be doing pretty soon, just to see how that works. Another thing, part of this update is I went out and got a saw. This is an XL saw, not an X-Acto, not a Army Painter. It's an XL saw, and you needed to have the right type of handle, which luckily I already did have this right type of handle. So you can cut things off. If you want, you know, to trim something super thin, this blade is super thin. It is kind of flimsy a little bit, but it's working really good to like cut the bases of the bottoms of their bases off. Or if I needed to trim anything, I can use that saw there. How many times have I used this saw? Exactly once. No. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is this unit right here. I've got 8 figures, glued popsicle sticks. These are Roman Legionaries. They came from, because okay, if you follow my channel, you know that I received last week Warlord was offering, or last month actually, Warlord was offering, you could buy individual sprues for half price, right? So you could get a sprue of Romans for $3. This right here, this would be a sprue of Romans. You would get that for $3. You could get a sprue of, I could get a sprue, that's the weapons. I get a sprue of Saxons, there's 4 of them there, for $1. Okay? And I went ahead and I ordered some sprues. And I went through and I figured, this is all sprue work here. These guys here are all from sprues that I ordered. Now I ordered those sprues to fill in for these guys, but also other things. And I didn't realize that I had ordered 6 sprues. I only needed 4. I ordered 6, and I must have been thinking, and I have a feeling that I was thinking that I wanted to do this specific thing. I just don't remember thinking that. I do kind of. I'll have to go back and watch some of my videos to see if I mention it, but what I did was I made some auxiliary troops using the Legionary sprue. Use some Celtic heads from my Celtic collection because I've got twice as many heads as I need. I used some Celtic shields. These are the oval shields, and just like a auxiliary unit would use. And then I picked all the auxiliary shields where the guy, or the oval shields, where the guys are holding javelins in the shield arm. So every one of those has 2 javelins in the hand of the shield arm. And then I went through and I grabbed some, because all I had was Roman swordmen and slingers, because I didn't want to use the pilum guys. I specifically used all the pilums that I had on that unit there. But I went through the swords and the slings, and I found the arms that were all in the right position. And then what I did was I cut the swords off with an X-Acto and clippers. And then I took a pin vise which this is actually my new X-Acto. No, it's not even X-Acto. This is Testers. You got my new Testers pin vise. This thing weighs probably 2 pounds. It's heavy. And but it came with brand new blades or drill bits, and it had the small ones. My old pin vise has like 3 drill bits, and they're all broken. So I could have just got drill bits, but I didn't find one with drill bits. But I did find a new pin vise that had new drill bits, so I went ahead and got this. It wasn't much. And so what I did was I drilled holes. Okay, remember, I cut the swords off, then I drilled a hole through the hand area. So now I've got these guys with their hands like this. And then I took spears from the Celtic sprues, because my Celtic sprues has tons of spears. So I took one off of each of those sprues basically, and glued them in their hands. So when you get a chance to see these at the end of the video, you're going to see my conversion. You're going to see they're wearing the traditional chainmail, but they also have some Roman helmets, some non-Roman helmets. One guy's actually got a ponytail, 2 ponytails off both sides of his head. It's pretty cool. And then the conversions on the hands. The swords and the slings were cut off, and I put spears in their hands. And those came out really good. One of the guys over here, I used Varenis's, or maybe it was Pulo's, head from my Varenis Pulo pack, because it came with like it came with 2 heads per model. So I still have some heads left over. I took one of those and put it in there. He's going to be the leader, the Centurion. He's just missing his helmet. Yeah, these guys aren't conversions. They're just the traditional guys. Something I was thinking about. Okay. Part of the Roman army, but also part of my other armies. As you know, okay, I mounted these as auxiliaries. I'm going to mount these on individual bases because these guys are going to also be skirmishers. That's why I wanted the shields with javelins. So they're going to be javelins. Now, if I wanted to, I could field these as light infantry, kind of like the Cetrati, or Kitrati, or however it's pronounced. But I'm not going to. I'm gonna leave those Cetrati in the pack. I'm not even going to do it. I'm doing these auxiliaries here, and these are going to fall right in line with the rest of the Romans, and then my Numidians. So there, I'll have my 2 units of skirmishers. Now back to the cavalry. As you know, if I buy a command pack, I would have 2 groups of cavalry, Celtic cavalry, which is perfect, fine. I already have a pack of companion cavalry for my Macedonian army. Now, if I was to assemble and paint and put together my companion cavalry, I could use them as auxiliary for the Roman army. Now, if I ever play a scenario where the Romans are playing against the Macedonians, then I would have to make sure that I have a second unit. But I'm just saying, for time reasons and cost reasons, I could just throw those Macedonians together. I need them anyway for the Macedonian army, anyway. So I was thinking I could do that. And that way I can order the extra command pack and have it come in whenever it comes in. You know, I will have at that time 9 cohorts, which is 6 short of what I need. So then over the course of the next year or so, I'll be getting more cohorts until I get to 15. I think I'm going to stop at 15. Probably. I don't know. Okay, I've got all the generals I need. I got all the skirmishers I need. I've got, I understand that the ballista battery in the book says you're supposed to use 2 ballistas to represent the battery. I might get another ballista down the road. But the Caesarian ballista is in metal only, and it's $20. Where you could get the Imperial ballista in plastic for $12, right? But the crew would look different. They would be the wrong crew. but I could still do it. I could get it. It would be Imperial. This would be Caesarian, Republican, and maybe put one of each out there, and that way I'd have, you know, I don't know. I've been thinking about it. What else? Oh yeah, getting away from the Romans. We'll get. Remember, I'm gonna do a close up at the end of the video for that. What else did I do? Well, I did the Roman marching fort. You saw that video where I built a fort. Now, I've got a ton of extra shields, and some of them are already painted, actually. I was thinking about gluing them on the fort just to give it a little extra life. And the Celts have a ton of extra weapons, and the Germans have a ton of extra weapons. I was thinking I'd pile those up in the corner or something. Basically just enhance different terrain pieces with piles of weapons and shields. So, but okay, I did that. I did that. I'm not sure what other projects I did. Oh, I painted a dragon tortoise, a dragon turtle. That's painted up. I think that's it for terrain and non-Romans. But I did order when the sprues were on sale. I did order all these sprues right here. Now these sprues right here are the Saxon Dark Age soldiers, and there's like 6 sprues with people on them and 3 sprues with weapons and heads on them. So with 6 sprues times 4, I'm getting 24. I get 24 soldiers for, let me think about this for the math. I think it was like $9 total. So, and then I'm going to have a bunch of extra medieval weapons and shields and stuff. So, quivers and bows. And so what I was going to do is make these and mount these individually on 20 millimeters. So later down the road, when I want to do Dark Age or anything like that in Hail Caesar, I'll have them available, ready to go. But primarily, I got these primarily for my D&D game. When I get to painting these, I'll probably videotape that because that's different than what I'm doing here. Also, with that same box, I got a pack of modern soldiers. It's a sprue of like 6 to 8 guys, I think, maybe even 10 guys. And you can put any different types of rifles on these guys. They've got M4s. They got Steyrs. They have Scar. They have MP5s. They've got well, just a plethora of different rifles and anti-tank weapons, grenades, binoculars, basically all kinds of cool modern accessories in a 28 millimeter model, and I could easily use those for any modern game, and that's why I got them. I got them because Traveler is one, a role-playing game I play, and those guys could easily be on that, or if I wanted to do any kind of modern game at all. I just thought it was a good opportunity to get them, just to have them, because at half price they were killing. It was killing me not to get it. Okay, I also ordered a American War of Independence cannon and crew and horse and limber. It all came on one sprue for like $3. And I was like, where can you get a cannon in 28 millimeter with 4 crew, actually a Renaissance lady, a mounted officer on a horse, the gun carriage, accessories? You can't get that for $3 anywhere. I mean, I had to get it because in my Freeman's Farm scenario, I'm actually short 1 gun. So I said, what a perfect opportunity, just get that 1 gun. What else do I have? Just get in with that. I got something else too. Well, I got some extra Celts, and I got some extra Romans, and then I got, oh yeah, I got a bolt action American weapon sprue. It has a Springfield with scope, it has a bazooka, it has like a guy firing an well, maybe it's just a hand of a guy firing a pistol. It's got a ton of Garands. it's got it's just got a ton of weapons. And I got that so that I could convert some of my American, well, a few of my American guys into those once I start expanding my bolt action collection. Throughout the month, I had many orders go through Warlord Games, and I got 3 Lieutenant Spears. Yeah, so. All right, guys. Well, this is just an interim update. I plan to give a full update real soon. Stick around just for a second while I lay these figures out, and then we point them out and kind of show them up close. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and show you these figures. There we go. We got Julius. We got Caesar right there, right? We got the Numidians, you know, right there. You're looking at 3 cohorts of each color. So we got our red, horse plumes, black plumes, and then those will eventually be probably red plumes. Okay, then we got our yellows, where we got black plumes and red plumes. Those will probably be white. Then over here we got our white plumes, red plumes, black plumes. All right, so far so good. And then we got our generals, of course. Mark Anthony, generic guy number 1, and generic mounted guy number 2. We have our Celt cavalry. The 8 guys right there forms a regiment. There's the start of a 2nd regiment, or I can use my Macedonians, as I've been thinking. All right, now here's the conversions. I'm going to go down the line here, and so you can see. I'm going to try to make sure I get these focused. Let's start with this guy holding the spear. He's got a long spear. He's holding it low. And you got this guy. He's got a spear. He's kind of holding it across his shield. This guy's holding it across his shield as well, but maybe a little bit higher. This guy's also holding it down like he's preparing to thrust with it. This guy's got a javelin in his hand like he's going to throw it. And then he's got a spear. He's holding it up high. He's got a javelin kind of angled down like he's thinking about throwing it. He hasn't actually got there yet. And this guy's going, he's got a javelin as well, and he's going through the throwing motions as well. Okay, so let's kind of take a look at these guys. Looking good. Those conversions. Only took a little bit of pin vise work and a little bit of love. Luckily I had a Celt sprue. I got a ton of Celt sprues still left over. Still working on that. My German horde is 151 strong. So, but I noticed I don't have any generals except for that one Aerovicious. I might have to order the Celt command and some generals for the Celts. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out and checking out this video, and I'll catch you next time.